Hi, I'm Gerry from Gerry's Craft Room, and in this video I'm going to make a card with Distress Oxide inks and rubber band stamps. And I start with the background, and I use Distress Oxide spray, which gives a lot of color. I dilute a bit with water and blot to create a bit of texture. I have the watercolor card I cut a circle out of and dip that in the color on my desk. By the way, I added the products I used in the description box for you, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. And now I'm going to add more color with ink on my desk and a bit of water to add more texture. I spray some water to get lighter spots and dry and blot for more color difference. I stamped and fussy cut the textured houses. And now I stamp the houses on the circle. I use the darkest color and stamp a few times to get a darker image. And I'm going to keep filling up the circle all to the top. And I'm going to use the house row I fussy cut as a mask. I stamp another house in black and emboss it with clear embossing ink. First, some more color on the frame. I have an ink blending tool with an applicator and some plastic wrap, and a dauber with plastic wrap to do some ink smooching. I just want bits of color here and there. I press the tools in the ink and spray mist a bit of water, and then I add it to the card. Clean in between colors and dry so the ink pad stays clean. And then I put it aside to dry. I added the colors on an acrylic block to color the house. I use a water brush for coloring. This will work as a watercolor. I have a piece of craft foam and cut a circle out of the middle, and I add the foam to the back of the card. I added tape to the circle and I added to the back of the card. I put the card in place and add the circle in the middle and I push it down. When the circle is in place, I press down the card and remove the tape backing. I added foam to the back of the house and I used part of the cutout circle. I add some drops and I use the flower tool to add tiny bits of drops for the smaller drops. I was in a hurry, so I used the pre-made drops. You can add a little drop to add a pre-made bigger drop and then dip in it to have some glue for the smaller drops. This way you don't waste any product on a scrap sheet of paper. Add a tiny bit of glue to the back of the stamp and stamp some tiny bits here and there. This way it will stick to your finger perfectly. And I finish with the sentiment, because it often doesn't take a village, does it? I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and make sure to keep on crafting!